Hey everybody, it's Shane. Hope you're all well. Hope you've all had a good Sunday, had a good weekend. I'm in the process of closing mine out, getting ready for Monday. But I want to put together one more little clip before I did that. Word of the day is affirmation. Affirmation is defined by two other words. It means to affirm. Okay, back up a couple of years. About 2 years ago, I really made what's the word here? I made an effort to lead a more faithful life. Well, I was doing things wasn't necessarily working. There was emptiness inside of me. And so I tried to align my life with what God wants me to do with my life. And it's not like all of a sudden when you say, hey, I'm ready to kind of do what you want me to do in my life because my way's not working. Oh, great, glad you're on board now. Here's the manual, here's what I want you to do. It's not quite that simple. So I started looking, really searching inside of myself, studying, trying to figure it out. I like to talk, I like to write. There's this thing called Facebook. And that seemed to be kind of where things led for no other reason. So I'm moving along. My faith did get stronger. Still have the same problems I used to have. I'm still getting older. My joints still hurt. My problems went away. I can say that what I have done differently is the way I handle them. So as we're trucking along here, faith comes in handy. Faith is just believing that if you do the right things, that they're going to work out like they should. And so I'm laying in bed last night and trying to see, okay, what can I say today that might be something, of a spiritual nature? Not because it's Sunday, just because I've done a bunch of, funny stuff the last 3 or 4. And just had this thought in my mind. For the last few months, I've had this little game I play with my kids. We go to church on Sunday, and I ask them, I want you to pay attention in the sermon. Because when we get back home, we get in the car, I want each of us to tell the other one what they heard. We'll start with you, Reese. And it's been pretty fun. It's been pretty informative. It's gotten my kids dialed into the sermon. I mean, the Episcopalian sermon lasts about 10-15 minutes tops, not very long. And it's been really productive. And so I thought, okay, maybe I'll tell that story. And I wasn't sure about it. So I woke up this morning, and my daily guidepost book, which you've probably heard me talk about before, I read the post this morning. And the story is written by a guy that has 2 children. And while he leads a pretty faithful life, works for Guidepost, his children have not really led the most spiritual life. One of them texted him on Easter morning, hey Dad, just so you know I'm going to church. Should be a shocker. The guy writes about how he raised them, and they're not bad kids. Just church doesn't play a role. Faith's not really a strong factor in their life. And so he tries to call his son. He can't get him on the phone, so he sends him a text. And at the bottom of it says, bottom of the page, simply says, "Tell me later what you thought of it." Well, that's the same question I ask my kids when we get in the car. So to me, that was an affirmation that what I was thinking about doing was right. And along the way of trying to lead a more faithful life, one thing I've said is I need some affirmation here. I need to know that where I'm going is in the right direction, that I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. It's the same thing when my kids look back at me and try to teach them how to do something. Maybe my 10-year-old were trying to, fix something that's broken, and he's wanting to do it himself. And he looks back after working at it and goes, am I doing it right? Yes, son, you're doing it right. Keep on going. That's an affirmation. That's an affirmation. And in my life, that's how things work. Faith works when you work, and that's just one example. Sometimes they come in droves. Sometimes they come days or even weeks apart. And in those dry periods is when you just got to have faith that you're heading in the right direction. If you keep moving, God's going to steer the ship. Anyway, hope you all have a wonderful week. I'm going to stop now before I start repeating myself. Talk to you soon.